I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress.
You gotta know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen.
And from the looks of it, the new pope is not Turkson. The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee Kevin Wallace.
Dave Chappelle has made a name for himself by dropping some truth bombs about the dark side of Hollywood, and his latest target is none other than Kevin Hart. Hart is applauded across the globe for his characteristic brand of humor. However, Dave has given fans a reality check. According to him, the only reason Kevin is at the top of his game is because he made a deal with the devils of Hollywood. By meeting their demands, Kevin bought his way to fame and popularity. Now we know that emerging artists have to jump through some hoops for a seat at the table. But did Kevin really do the things that Dave's saying he did? Is there any truth to Dave's words? Let's dive right into it.
You're not supposed to do this in my business. I'm up here doing something that nobody else in this business has the balls to do. I'm telling you something that you need to know. I'm trying to explain to you what you're seeing. You don't understand what you're seeing.
Kevin Hart and Dave Chapelle are both widely acclaimed comedians. However, despite working in the same industry, both of them are on vastly different career paths. While Kevin comes off as an easygoing fella, Dave's a force to be reckoned with. For decades, the half-baked actor has exposed the true face of Hollywood. There's been a running theory speculating that emerging black entertainers are asked to wear a dress and take on the role of an exaggerated, stereotypical character on screen. Strangely enough, most black actors reach the pinnacles of success after playing these types of roles.
It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me.
Now, Dave started spilling the beans in 2006. Back then, he packed his bags and disappeared off the face of the earth to Africa. The media was saying all kinds of things that the fame had gotten to Dave, and he couldn't face the pressure. However, he eventually came back and sat down for an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Apparently, Dave had received a $50 million deal from Comedy Central, but he walked away from it without batting an eye, all because the people in charge wanted him to give up certain parts of himself, and Dave wasn't okay with it. Dave also talked about how big media companies approached him to write sketches. However, Dave noticed that these sketches were more about people laughing at him than with him, and that's when the comedian realized that he was being asked to sell his soul for the promise of fame and success. However, unlike Hart, Chapelle had principles he had to adhere. He couldn't find it in himself to conform to the standards that the Hollywood elite expected from him. In fact, Dave recalled that, like Hart, he too was asked to wear a dress for a movie scene, but he wasn't up for it.
I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. It's the writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're a writer. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We were supposed to shoot.
However, Dave wasn't about to sell his soul. And when the producers realized that there was no convincing him, they left him alone.
Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? Not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right. Fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta.
According to Dave, it wasn't about wearing the dress. It was about the fact that black entertainers were asked to jump through hoops at the cost of their self-respect and public humiliation for access to the same opportunities as their white counterparts. Kevin Hart was asked for his 2 cents on Dave's words during the press tour for 5-year engagement with Black Tree TV in 2012.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress.
However, a year later, Kevin did a full 180U. Pope Seenan is lifting her arms into her signature muscling pose. He was prancing around in an SNL skit in a dress, and fans were not having it. They slammed Kevin for being a sellout. One fan wrote, "That's what selling your soul looks like, at least a piece of the pie." Another fan seemed to finally believe Dave's words, writing, "It seems to be true. What Dave Chappelle said about black male comedians being made to wear dresses, all the ones that are doing it have succeeded, but the ones that said they won't, like Chapelle, Cat Williams, and others, are no longer in the spotlight and are struggling to get recognition." Others thought that the dress was part of a ritual that Kevin had to perform to gain access to Hollywood's inner circle, according to a running theory. The upper management needed to confirm that Kevin conformed to the same views as them. Back then, there had been some buzz about Kevin being homophobic, and so members of the secret society needed Kevin to pass a test before they opened up doors of opportunity for him. And that's where the dress came in, one fan wrote. "It's always so obvious that this was purely an initiation ritual because the skit itself isn't funny." Kevin was quick to respond to the criticism. He cleared the confusion in a tweet saying, "I wore a dress on SNL because I thought it was funny. I made that decision. Nobody made it for me. I am my own boss." He continued comment on the positive stuff, like the fact that not many black comedians have had the chance to do SNL. Look at the big picture before you tear it down. He also said, "With that being said, I will continue to do what I do best, which is make people laugh. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming." However, fans were not buying it. One responded to Kevin's tweet, "If you are your own boss, then why are you explaining your choices? Silence is powerful, boss. It's not about wearing the dress as much as it is about proving that you're willing to sacrifice your integrity, i.e. for the sake of fame." And once the upper class was satisfied that Kevin would be willing to cross the line, they let him in. According to Dave, it wasn't about wearing the dress. It was about the fact that black entertainers were asked to jump through hoops at the cost of their self-respect and public humiliation for access to the same opportunities as their white counterparts. Kevin Hart was asked for his 2 cents on Dave's words during the press tour for 5-year engagement with Black Tree TV in 2012.